All right, this is Dan Meehan for Fight News Australia, and today we have Rob Wilkinson, who fights Daniel Almeida at Hex Fight Series 21 on April 9th. Rob, how are you?
I'm good, Dan. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Thanks for stopping by. Now, you're one of a rare breed of fighters from Tasmania. Are you still based down there? And what can you tell us about the fight scene down in the Apple Isle?
Yeah, I'm back in Hobart, Tasmania. I was living in Sydney for a few years training there, but I've moved back. I love Tassie, and it's good to be back. The gym I train at, Hybrid Training Centre, is actually just we moved during COVID last year, about 6 months ago. Set up a new gym. I had two of my really good friends kind of buy into the gym as well. So there's a few owners, and it's going super well. It's like, I think we've gone from maybe 50 members to almost 200 members. And it's just like a really state-of-the-art facility. And there's a really good energy about it, and everyone's excited to compete. And the fight scene's very much alive again. Yeah.
Awesome. Now you're probably best remembered to the casual MMA fan for your tenure in the UFC, in which you fought Israel Adesanya in his UFC debut. Needless to say, that loss has aged pretty well. But can you tell us a little bit about your experience in the cage with Izzy?
It wasn't my best fight, but obviously looking at how well he's done and becoming the champion, it's definitely something to be. It gives me a lot of confidence going and fighting anyone else. I fought the best guy in the world at that weight class. He's the best striker, MMA striker, probably in the world. So then going against anyone else, I've got a lot of confidence with that. It was a really good experience as well. Even afterwards, his coaches invited me down to train with him, and I've trained with him twice now. So having that experience and going down and training with the crew down there is something I want to do more. Obviously, COVID's stopping that at the moment, but I would like to get down there a little bit more often when it all clears up, and especially for fight camps, do a few weeks down there. Definitely.
Awesome. Now the UFC matchmakers certainly didn't go easy on you in your tenure over there. What was some of the biggest lessons you took from your time with the UFC?
I was only 25 when I had my two fights in the UFC, and obviously that was my goal was to fight in the UFC, and I was very eager, but I think maybe a little bit too eager. I took fight, maybe I shouldn't have taken. The first fight I took on, I think, 4 weeks notice, and I was just first week back at training after having knee surgery and sitting on the couch for 3 months. So just a little underdone really. But I just wanted to, sorry, I've got some creepy guy filming me. Sorry, what the hell? I've even learned from Israel's mindset, what he had going into the UFC. He was ready to be top 10, go straight to the title, and that's what I've kind of built myself up to now. And I feel when I get the opportunity to get back in there, that's what I'm ready for. I'm training not just for Daniel Almeida, or not just to be Hex champion, or not just to be back in the UFC, but I'm training to be, top 10 in the UFC. I'm ready to kind of go compete with the top 10 guys. And that's kind of my mindset about everything. And I'm feeling super confident. And, I'm 29 years old now and want to make the most out of the next 5 or 6 years, which I think will be my best years, in my early 30s, to go, make a shot at that world title.
Absolutely. Now you've been out of action since 2019. Is that due to COVID, or have you taken a bit of a break?
Mainly due to COVID. I had a little bit of a break after my release from the UFC. I kind of reassessed things, had some time off, moved back to Hobart. I actually kind of I don't know, I was going through some stuff, and I kind of lost my passion for the sport for a little bit, even when I was in the UFC, which is a weird thing when I've been training for 8 years, 9 years to get there, and then wasn't actually loving what I was doing that much by the time I got there. So having some time off and, moving back with my friends and family down here into the original gym I trained at, it's definitely reignited my passion for the sport, and I really enjoy learning new skills now. I really enjoy coming to training, especially with this new gym and the community we've got here. It's awesome. So loving actually improving, and I'm feeling like I'm just getting better and better. You know, I've learned a lot from my experience in the UFC. So I'm very excited to keep moving forward. Yeah.
Right. I think it's pretty common when people get to the UFC, they sort of feel a little bit of burnout there. They realize once they actually get there, it's not Disneyland. You know, the work continues. So it's yeah, it can be a bit like that.
Yeah. Sometimes I was almost thinking like, you know, oh, once you're in the UFC, you know, then you kind of do the extra little things, or then you'll have more time to do this or more time to do that. It's not like anything really changes. You're still just training away. So like, yeah, I've definitely learned a lot, and I just love the sport. But yeah, go back to your question. I didn't mean to have the time off, so I had a little bit of time off. I've had a few kickboxing fights. I've won a couple of titles, and then my goal was to get back into MMA in 2019 and try and compete as much as I can and get back into like Bellator or the UFC. But I just have struggled getting matchups. It's been really difficult. All 2019, I was looking to fight, and eventually got that one fight at the end of the year. And then since then, I've been putting my name down for every show. Obviously, COVID slowed things down a lot. But apart from that, just yeah, no one really seems to accept the fight with me. So it's been pretty frustrating, as I had the time off and I built myself back up and I was ready to go, and then I'm still just kind of waiting. So I'm beyond excited for this fight. I've been training with some of the guys in the gym. They've had title fights. I've been doing 5-5s with them all last year. At the end of last year, I was hoping to get a fight at the end of last year, and it didn't happen. So I've been pretty much preparing for a title fight for a bit over 6 months now. So I think it's the best shape I've been in going into a fight. You know, when I heard about the fight, I didn't have to think, oh, I need to get fit or anything like that. I was ready. Like, I could have fought that weekend. I was ready to go. I've been training consistently and improving. So it's probably the most excited I've been for a fight. I can't wait to just get back in there and show all the new skills I've been working on and show how good I am and that I belong back in the UFC.
Yeah, brilliant. So yeah, looking ahead, as you mentioned there, you're fighting on April 9th against a tough Brazilian in Daniel Almeida. How's training camp been? Looks like you got a bit of a shiner there to show for it.
Yeah, last sparring session, of course, I get a little black eye, but training camp's been awesome. I've had a lot of support from everyone here. As I was saying, I feel very fit going to this fight, which is one thing I've just like been a concern. Not that I haven't been fit, but that's always something like, you know, gassing out is probably the worst feeling in a fight. And I have had that happen to me before. So feeling very confident. I've wanted to fight a jiu-jitsu guy for a long time. Everyone I seem to fight's a good striker, and I've got good wrestling and normally try and take them down and keep them down. So as I said before, I've had a few kickboxing fights since the UFC and been really working on my striking. So I'm excited to be able to demonstrate some of those skills I've been working on, as well as my defensive wrestling if he is trying to take me down. More than happy to go to the ground with him as well. I don't think he's been submitted in MMA, so I wouldn't mind getting that notch on my belt. Kind of help me get up to my brown belt as well if I maybe submit him. But I don't know. I can see myself knocking him out, definitely.
There you go. Yeah. So you've campaigned mostly at middleweight throughout your career, but I noticed this fight's billed at light heavyweight. Is that a permanent change for you, or are you just sort of shedding some lockdown weight, or what's the story there?
My last fight, I don't think many people realise, but my fight against Dylan Andrews was at light heavyweight as well. I think people, since he's often fought at middleweight as well, thought it was a middleweight fight. But after my fight with Israel, and the performance I had after doing a very large cut, I decided to move up in weight class. It was something that my coach always thought I'd do eventually. I guess it's just with the jump between middleweight and light heavyweight, it's quite a big jump, 20 pounds, 9 kilos. So I was, you know, I probably could have done it earlier if it was, you know, just a normal 10-pound jump, but I decided I didn't really have to put on that much extra weight. I was cutting, you know, 13, 14 kilos the last time I went down to middleweight. So it was big cuts and it didn't feel good. So I definitely feel better. definitely feel better at light heavyweight. Not having to worry about those big cuts anymore.
Yeah, I bet that 13, 14 kilo cut sounds miserable.
Yeah, not much fun.
So, how do you see the fight going down? How do you get your hand raised on April 9?
Well, apparently he says he wants to strike with me. I think his last win, his second last fight, he got a head kick knockout. So I'm not sure if, when people start knocking people out, they kind of get excited and think they've got good striking. But I think once I've got a bit of height and reach advantage on him, and I think once I start tagging him and he's swinging and missing at me, he'll be looking to get it to the ground where he feels a bit more comfortable. But I see myself controlling the fight. I don't see him being able to take me down. I'll be controlling with my striking. I'm happy to, I'm a good wrestler and I'm happy to take him down and ground and pound him and even look for a sub there. But I see myself controlling the fight. I want to put on a really good performance and dominate this fight. And I'd like it to go past the first round just because I haven't fought for a long time and get a bit of get a bit of time in the cage and feel it out. But I see it in a first or second round finish.
Do you feel like ring rust would be a factor? You sort of alluded there that you wanted to get a bit of time in the cage. Do you feel like that's a real thing? I know people are divided on that.
It might. I don't think it'll be a factor. The last fight before that, I know I had a few boxing fights, but that was a big gap before I fought Dylan Andrews for MMA wise, and I performed very well. I do a lot of visualization and do a lot of visualized work. I've even been working with the fight mindset. He works with a few UFC guys as well. And I think when you've been doing a lot of that stuff, it all feels much more comfortable when you're actually in the cage. So, we've got a cage here that I've been sparring in every week. So I don't think it'll have any effect on me, no. And it's about similar time frame, I think, for him fighting as well. So.
Yeah, right.
Sounds good. Lots of us have had big gaps at the moment, I guess, with COVID and stuff like that with our fighting. So
that's true. Very true. All right. Before I let you go, do you have any sponsors or anyone you'd like to shout out? I'll hand over to you.
Just everyone at the gym, at a hybrid training center, everyone who's been supporting me along this way, my manager Reese. I'm just, as I said, I'm super excited for this fight. I can't wait. It's only a week away. I was getting a bit nervous. Just the last few days with the COVID cases in Brisbane since he's in the Gold Coast. So that was stressing me out a lot. It looks like it's all okay now. So 1 week and I'll be fighting. So I can't wait.
Fantastic. Well, Rob, thank you so much for stopping by and all the best on April 9th.
All right, thanks.